This was sold as, the action in this lame duck session was going to be a lot about pensions. The governor called for it, but it just seems to have sort of lost steam once everybody's gotten down here. Guns and gay marriage have become the issues.
Well, I think, one of the things that we've got to realize, we've got a diverse legislature, 177 members coming from different geographic areas of the state. We as a Senate acted last spring to take action first off on our own pensions and those of the state employee retirement system. We passed a pension reform bill on to the House of Representatives, which is still over there. We would have wished to have passed a full package, but there was an issue with the so-called cost shift, which was, I think, was just bad nomenclature. The reality is, and it's commonplace, that the employer pays into the retirement system of the employee, and they don't have a third party doing it for them. But that has been the case for local school districts and public universities for a number of years. And we were trying to correct that because we've had to correct some of the abuses that have taken place, end of the career, pay hikes and that sort of thing, which probably would not have happened had the employer, the local school districts and the public universities, had some skin in the game in the first place. And so whatever resolution we have will have to have some component of making certain that the employers are paying into the employees' pension.
Why is it that not so much support for pension reform, but support for action has seemed to fade away during this lame duck session? Everybody was fired up, and then we all got back here, and now no one's really so much fired up.
Well, I don't know that support for action has waned away, but I think that there's the negotiation is a difficult negotiation because you have people who are concerned about the impact on suburban and rural property taxes, and which is a legitimate concern. However, one has to realize you can't just continue living off of somebody else's revenue. You've got to, as a local school district, pay your share.
Is this about finding the right coalition of lawmakers from both parties to vote for lack of a better word, the cost shift, or is this really about coming to one single deal that everybody can get behind?
And I don't want to focus just on the cost shift because that's not the only issue here. There are different stakeholders. There are the public employees themselves, and many of them are represented by organized labor. Some who have been proponents and advocates of pension reform have vilified public employees unjustly. You've heard the commercials saying 95% of the public are paying for 5% of the public's retirement benefits. Well, that's unfair. That's an unfair characterization. These employees have consistently made their pension payment, and it is us, the government, who has skipped our responsibilities from time to time because we fail to recognize the structural deficit that has existed year after year in our overall budget. And it's a dangerous thing to talk about pension reform in isolation and not talk about the overall budget. We have an income tax increase that is set to expire in a couple of years, and it would be delusional to think that we cannot do anything about that, given the drastic cuts we've had to make and the drastic cuts we will have to make going forward. Those cuts impact people.
I want to ask you about the fact that this is the last of the $1 billion increases in pension payment. But before that, since it doesn't look like there's going to be action during this lame duck session, what does the next 6 months then bring us? How does the conversation have to happen? Where's the focus of getting something done by May, or do you see a situation where we go, we go past May once again and we don't act?
Well, no, I don't. I don't think we can afford to do that. But then again, many have said we couldn't afford to go back and be beyond January. I think what needs to happen again is a comprehensive discussion take place. We have to discuss the expiring income tax and what we're going to do there. We have to discuss the budget overall and overall tax reform. I think we have to discuss the fact that we're one of the few states with an income tax that doesn't have a progressive income tax. All of these things, we have to have a comprehensive discussion. And lame duck session is probably not the appropriate place to have such a huge comprehensive discussion, but it has to be that sort of comprehensive discussion.